We had and we had a neutral. We had three voices. We had pleasant or upbeat. You're like, let's get some gas. It's like, you better get some gas. And so we had so depressed and snarky. We had incredibly positive, and then we had neutral. Gas station available. Gas recommended. It was like really, tried to be Tom, right? And so I got to be all three voices. And the thing is, they said that they didn't like the upbeat voice because they still thought it was trying to sell them all the time. So they said they didn't trust it because it sounded like an advertisement. Like, let's get some gas. Like, yeah, well, yeah, it's like too hard on the sell. It's like, why do you want the gas so badly? What are you working for the gas company? What's your it's like basically what's your angle, right? And so we had 3 independent people. We did a study. We did 30 people, and 3 of them independently said it sounds like an advertisement.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe, and then like some of my friends are coming. Well, this is you, Jen. It's like you sound insincere. I'm like okay, fine. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to compensate for sincerity bias. I did my best. I really was trying to do this. And then the snarky one, they said, they said it sounded like she knew what she was talking about. And I'm like, okay, so if you're depressed and nasty, people say, well, I guess the only way you can get away with being so depressed and nasty is you really know your stuff, right? So that way, it was just an interesting, I mean, I hadn't actually been looking for these variables. I mean, I guess I kind of had it a little bit, but it's like, the things that people told me about, like, why they chose which voice, like, they actually, one of the things that totally fascinated me about this whole thing is how, like, this is a very shallow experiment. It was basically a PowerPoint slide, really, with little wave files of my voice for the 3 things. So very, very lightweight HTML5 programming, trust me. And people attributed, like, deep meaning about why they, well, my car, I know the 89's okay, so people brought so much into the decision-making process, like variables that I had no idea that people would even consider.
Yeah.
So it was very educational for me to just do this. And so therefore, for me, what I recommend for design is actually don't invest too much in your first pilot, because you will learn so much about what people actually consider from just doing something flaky, something lightweight, something cheap. You'll get to, like, do you have anything later? I'm like, he's like, we've never gotten a response like that before. I'm like, really, seriously? Never, because he was mechanical Turkers, so they're like, yes, I'd like an appointment for Thursday. And they just take whatever appointment was recommended. Whereas the real people were actually considering their real schedules.
Yeah.
Like, so even for the price of a cookie, they were actually looking at their real calendars to see when they could book this fake appointment with your, right? So they was like, no, I have some. They would tell me, like, they're busy. I'm like, but it's not a real appointment, right? Like, you would think that people would say it's not real, but they really,
they were getting into
the role play, and they were actually really considering their calendars about when they could have a haircut, right? And then they asked something like, how much does it cost? Which wasn't part of the booking. We're like, we'll just do appointments, right? But they're like, men's haircuts are $15 or 15 pounds. Oh, no, thank you very much. Oh, you're welcome. Shall I book your appointment? And and off you go. But it's just like, what else do people want from the app that you're not even considering? That wasn't even the scope of your plan. How much did the haircut cost? Like, we're bookings.
Yeah.
We don't do cost. But ideally, if you wanted to serve your customer, you'd include some basic, or let me transfer you to an agent, and have that, whatever. Then you go to a different.
But if you do it in that sort of loose, not over complex way, you can change it very quickly to make it to take account for let's try it that way.
And I think, if we had invested a lot in the design, and the thing is, he'd been running that other thing on Mechanical Turk for like 6 months, and and then when he tried to run it on actual humans, it completely crashed. And I'm like, your vocabulary is extremely limited to what Turkers might say.
Yeah.
Right. And so you just don't. I would say just don't overinvest in your first design if you really want user feedback. I mean, we actually start with paper prototypes, which the fidelity. It's always this balance between fidelity. Because, it's like, would you like this? I'm like, I don't know, it's a nice piece of paper.
Yeah.
What do you think? And then, but for interactive prototypes, I would fake as much and substitute yourself in wherever you can to substitute for AI. Because, the full build-out's painful, hard, expensive. Yeah. I'm actually blessed by a lack of skill with HTML5, so I don't really try hard. But anyways.
No, I suspect I have I also am completely rubbish with, I'm good with Excel, which is really sad. But essentially, I spend most of my time trying to find out ways of doing things without having to use technology, because I'm not that good with all the sort of stuff.
Yeah. I think talented people are really held back by, you know, being able to do things.
Yeah.
To waste a lot of their time.
Yeah. Become more creative.